want to discuss. Pastor Bailey, given your background as a pastor, psychologist, you also work with the Ministry of Justice. You would have had first-hand experience dealing with victims of trauma, but we are quite aware of the different categories, that there are different categories to trauma. So we would want you to speak specifically to our teachers or educators about the different categories of trauma that are manifested and what you have seen throughout your practice. Pastor Bailey?
Thank you very much for having me. It is indeed my pleasure, and I hope my contribution would add to the body of knowledge. Already, I feel like a student in Sonia Winter's class. With regard to categorization, she actually did an excellent job of speaking to what we call the acute, chronic, or complex. The only thing I would add to that, as my work in victim services would allow me to be exposed to, is a category which is important to bring to the attention of teachers, is what is called secondary trauma. Because we already understand what trauma is. She did an excellent job, and it can be acute, chronic, or complex. But while you're managing your traumatic realities, you face a classroom, a schoolroom with teachers, classroom with students, schoolroom with teachers. You live in a community, you live in a home. Perhaps you're a member of other communities, and they are experiencing their trauma, that they trust you because of your position as teacher, a principal, a guidance counselor. And then you now start to experience their trauma, what we call vicariously, by virtue of identifying with their needs and associating with them. And this can be a very, very serious, acute, if not chronic, because you're already dealing with some, and then the more they brought to you is the more complex it is. So this close contact can also impact. That is the only thing I would add to the categorization of trauma.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Bailey. And if I may